What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Today we're not talking about blades. We're going to do a COVID update here, Baz on Blades. It's been a few days, and I apologize for that, but the upper respiratory part of this COVID thing just rolled all over my head, and I had so much drainage going on. My throat was so raw, like strep throat raw, where you feel like when you cough, you're going to cough up blood. It was just very uncomfortable to talk, and I just haven't been in much of a mood to talk about anything. But I do want to do an update because we're moving into today is day 8 or day 9 of this since I first showed symptoms. And it looks like I am going to be one of those people that is affected in the more of a long run with this. There's 2 aspects to it that I am seeing in my body. And again, I'm 52 years old. I don't have a bunch of comorbidities. Really, the only health issues I have a bad back, which is not being affected by this other than laying in the bed so much that it's making my back hurt. And I have some very slight allergy issues that I don't hardly ever even take allergy medication for. So I don't feel like that's been a compounding factor at all. The upper respiratory thing on this, it came on really, really heavy the second and third day, and lasted a couple of days, and it was really, really bad. I do have a new best friend that I want to introduce everybody to, who has taken Dan the Man's place. This is my new best friend. It's Mr. Touchy-Feely Nosy Guy. Box of tissues. My 3rd box of tissues this week so far. I'm basically, everywhere I go, I've got to take that box with me. It's like my security blanket, like I'm a little kid. And that and sanitizing wipes, like Clorox sanitizing wipes, where I'm trying to keep this virus killed on all the surfaces around the house, so I'm not constantly giving it back to myself. So, we got 2 aspects of this in my case. The upper respiratory thing it's annoying. It's upper respiratory. It's pretty heavy, but it's all up in my head. I can still, I've still got a lot of pressure going on. Everything that I'm saying now is just reverberating inside my head. I'm having to watch balancing that pressure against the drainage using antihistamines and decongestants. I have managed to not get an inner ear infection, thankfully, because I have had a history of that, especially when I was a young kid, where I would get sick and then develop an inner ear infection. Not been an issue. It does not seem like it wants to drop down into my chest. It's all staying right here, right where my sinus passages run into my throat. So I'm having to deal with all this drainage, sore throat, sniffy, going from pressure to drainage, from drainage to pressure, just common, moderately bad upper respiratory stuff that you would have with a bad cold or flu, anything like that. The second thing is what is affecting Baz on Blades more than anything, and I'm going to compare this to something else, but what I'm experiencing is extreme fatigue. I'm 52 years old. I've been sick before. I've had the flu. Who knows how many times in my life I've had the flu? A few times at least. I've had colds. I've never had pneumonia. I've never been, seriously really bad sick where I had to go in the hospital or anything like that, thank God. But this fatigue is unlike anything that I've ever felt. I am sitting here in a chair in an air-conditioned home. I am shaking all over from fatigue. I have only been out of the bed for about an hour and a half. I am sleeping 3 or 4 times a day besides sleeping through the night, or as much as I can, because of the drainage and stuff, where I'm waking up all the time having to cough that up and clear my sinus passages in my throat. But this fatigue is crazy. I have boo-hooed this whole COVID thing quite a bit. And I know it's dangerous for people that things like this are dangerous for. I'm not saying anything about that, and it affects people in different ways. I understand that. If you have comorbidities, please be careful of this. It is an upper respiratory bug, and it's a wanky little bug. I'm going to give it that one. But I've always sort of, in my own mind, I've just sort of made fun of this bug, and it's not funny at all. Now, in my case, not life-threatening. I'm not feeling threatened in any way. It's not developing into anything serious, except for I don't know these physiological issues that I'm having. Extreme fatigue, weakness. I'm shaky as I can be. I mean, I am as shaky as I can be. And now I'm sitting here in an air-conditioned home doing nothing right now. I was asleep. I got up. I washed my face. I got a drink of water, and I sat down to record this. And right now, I am so flushed that I'm just popping with sweat all over my body right now, just sitting here, and I'm shaking all over, just to lift my arm. Just something common to lift your arm. It takes an effort, and that should not take an effort unless you have some physical disability. Excuse me. I am having a lot of problems with fatigue and weakness, shakiness, and on top of that, I have been as dizzy as I can be. I have been, for the most part, restricted to my home because I do not feel confident enough to drive because of this dizziness. And it's not like, I feel faint-headed and everything's spinning around or anything like that. This is different. This feels almost like a type of intoxication almost, where if I turn my body, my physical body is turning, but it feels like the inside of my body, the inside of my head is turning slower. I'm not exactly sure what that is. It has been there since the beginning of this, and it has not dropped off at all. And like I say, I'm in day 8 or 9 of this. As far as the upper respiratory stuff, I could fight through that right now to be more physical. But with the fatigue and weakness and the dizziness, it has brought me low. I'm going to tell you right now, I have zero confidence that I could do anything physically demanding right now. Just sitting in this chair and talking calmly, I am so flushed, and like I say, it's just sweat popping out all over my body right now. And I'm sitting here in an air-conditioned home. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but I will tell you what it makes me think of. For the last 2 or 3 decades, I have heard about Lyme disease transferred from infected animals through ticks into human beings. And these symptoms are the symptoms that I always heard about with Lyme disease. Extreme debilitating fatigue and weakness and shakiness and dizziness. This does not feel like any influenza that I've ever had in my life. It doesn't feel like any sickness that I've ever had in my life. If somebody told me I had Lyme disease right now, I would be like, okay, well that's what I've heard Lyme disease is supposed to be. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. And if you're suffering from these symptoms when you have COVID, then God bless you, because it's damn near debilitating, even for somebody like me who does not have health issues or comorbidities or any type of weaknesses like that. I'm sorry, guys. And that's the problem I've had. I've had to go beyond the initial 5 days that my job is allowing and dip into FMLA coverage for an extension, another week extension for my COVID leave. And I got to tell you right now, I've got zero confidence that I'm going to be able to go back after that unless something radical happens in the next few days. Now, all that said, I don't feel like I'm going to die from it, but it is, it's got me down for sure. My mood is down, mentally, emotionally, physically, I'm depressed down as far as what I can do or can't do. But being stuck here in my home by myself, not being able to talk to anybody or see anybody except over the phone, I've got people that are bringing me food and stuff. They leave it out on my front porch. I see them through my front door, and that's the only contact I've had with people. Yesterday, my next door neighbor came down and mowed my yard. I mean, that's something a man does. You don't go asking for help to mow your yard. That's just the man thing you do. That's the summer thing. You're mowing the yard. And I had to text my next door neighbor and ask him if he would come down and mow my yard for me. And which thankfully he did, because it needed it. We've been getting rain every day here in East Tennessee, just scattered thunderstorms. It's enough to make the grass grow like springtime again. But it's a very hard to know that you should be able to do the things that you want to do or need to do or have to do and not be able to do them. I need to be at work. I need to be at work earning a living so I can pay my bills. I need to be able to mow my yard. I need to be able to clean my home. I mean, the most strenuous thing that I've done today is I took the bedding off of the bed and swapped it out so it could be washed. And it wore me out. It wore me out to take the sheets off of my bed to wash them. That's pretty damn sad right there. And I'm fighting this sort of I'm not going to say it's depression. I'm not sitting around feeling sad or depressed or anything, but it does have my mood squashed down, on top of just feeling like crap. And I don't know if I'm running a fever right now or what, but I am just extreme. I mean, I can see in the camera right now, I'm just extremely flushed. And that is from doing nothing. So I don't know. I don't want to go on some sort of pity party here, because it damn sure could be worse. It is miserable. I do feel like shit. Like I say, just extremely fatigued, extremely weak, shaky, dizzy feeling. This dizziness has been going on for like a week. That tells me that there is some physiological effect of this bug that is affecting my nervous system. It's affected my brain and my nervous system. Like I say, it feels like everything I've ever been told that Lyme disease feels like. And people that contract Lyme disease, they go on like permanent disability. They're destroyed for the remainder of their lives. So, I mean, it's not life-threatening, I don't believe, but it seems to be fairly serious in that, what if there was an emergency right now and I had to jump in my car and drive to the hospital? What if I get in a wreck on the way because I have to turn my head and I get dizzy and get into a car wreck? I don't know. What's the choice then? Is my choice then to call an ambulance? To call my 73-year-old mother and expose her to COVID? I could call Dan the Man, but Dan the Man's in Florida right now. He and his wife are on vacation, so more power to him. But it's just been a weird thing. And there you go. I don't want to make this video any longer. I think we're creeping up on like 15 or 16 minutes here, and that's too long to listen to somebody whine on the internet about being sick. I'm tired of hearing it myself. Maybe because I'm actually living it myself, but there you go, guys. I'm okay. Still alive. Still fighting the good fight. And that's the symptoms that I'm facing. There's an actual realistic look at this COVID thing as far as how it's affecting Baz on Blades. So there you go. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.